Good morning, everybody from here. Good afternoon, evening, wherever you may be from all over the world. Kindly, please mute yourself. We don't want to listen to your background noise and we don't want any distraction for this meeting. Kindly mute yourself. Thank you as you do that. Kindly mute yourself.
Can I mute myself?
Only speakers are allowed to unmute. Okay, thank you. So, like I said, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be, and it's applicable and it's appropriate to your environment. It's wonderful to have you. My name is Samson Oluwabimigalayounde. I'm a professor of chemistry, and I have my colleagues here. Mr. Lucas Oriba-Michel, are you there? And Mrs. Doris Oriba-Michel, are you there? And all of us, we make transnational career consultants. So briefly, what we do is to give back to our society, to give back to our people, to empower our people with right information, right skill, and opportunity. What I'm part of this is what we have been doing for a while in the last 4 months. And it's not about the life we live, but it's about the impact we make. So today, one of the great things that we presented to us here is the opportunity for graduate students, people who have gone through HND, BSc, to come to the US and study at no cost to you. That's 100% scholarship opportunity. And they say, if you want to travel a path, the best way to follow that, the best way to navigate your path is to follow the advice of those who have trained on that path. Please kindly mute yourself. Please kindly mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself. We don't want to listen to your background noise. Just mute yourself. So thank you. So the best way to trend and the best way to navigate one's path is to follow the pathway of those who have gone ahead and they have made it. Well, after this, we'll have another webinar for professionals. We are still having background noises. Kindly mute yourself. It will not be interesting if we are having background noise. So after this webinar, we'll announce another date where we'll have another webinar for professionals, for scholars who can, just like there are various categories. I mean, this is for those who are graduate students. Who will have another one or where we'll present the national interest waiver opportunity for scholars, for professionals to come to the US and with a green card opportunity. So today I am proud that I have one of my mentees here, and I am also glad that he's here, and I'm glad and joy fills my heart. I have Blessing Bamishai. Well, coincidentally, Blessing Bamishai served under my supervision at Technical University in Ibadan, and our path crossed there. Well, please, can you please mute yourself? Kindly mute yourself. We don't want to listen to your background noise. If you are attending a meeting like this, you just mute yourself so that there will not be background noise. Your background noise will not be reflecting. Thank you as you mute yourself. Kindly mute yourself as you join the meet. Okay, well, we'll change the settings in the next webinar. Okay. Like I did said, Blessing Bamishayi, part cross at Technical University in Ibadan, where he was a core member. And just like yesterday, the motivation of yesterday brought him to where he is today. And since then, he has been a wonderful mentee, and I'm proud of him anywhere I am. And today, I am glad and proud that uh, Blessing Bamishayi is a PhD student at West Virginia University, where he's currently enrolled for his PhD in chemistry, and it's at no cost. So I also have two other panelists. So in order to save our time, I'm going to call on Blessing Bamishayi. He will share his experience. He will lead us on to how you can go about it. There's no time for question now. We'll ask question at the end. We cannot start at. So please, if your hand is raised for question, your question will be attended to at the end. So so I would like to call on Blessing Bamishayi. Blessing Bamishayi, please unmute.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Blessing, you have the floor.
Anytime I unmute myself, it's going to mute me back.
Okay, okay, let me do that.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
You have the floor, Blessing.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the brief introduction, sir. I'm very grateful, sir. I always appreciate God that our paths cross, and I'll be every day grateful, sir. Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, you are free. Let me just do that. Okay, yes, you can share your screen now.
Actually, I told my friend, my flatmate, because I didn't prepare any slide, and he gave me his slide to use. I'm sorry, I want to remove this.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Can anybody see the slide?
Yeah, we can see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to give courtesy and honor to my friend. His name is Ezekiel Rewale, his flatmate. We are together. He did this last month for Deeper Life Campus Fellowship student in OAU. So I have to use the slide. Okay. And I just want to, before we start, I have to define what is a scholarship. A scholarship is financial support awarded to a student based on academic achievement or other criteria that may include financial need for the purpose of school. And this is extracted from the University of South Alabama. We all know that many people out there are looking for scholarship because of the financial hardship. We can't just lie about that. There's no how you are financially buoyant to come here, except you are extraordinarily financially buoyant. I mean, and so we believe that there's an opportunity here, and it's for the less privileged that are very academically sound and they have this intention to school. And I have to go to the next slide. Like, why do you need a scholarship? Like, why do everybody need a scholarship? Is a question that it varies. It's like different reasons for us to need a scholarship. Your reason might be quite different from mine, but there's a goal that why everybody needs a scholarship. And first one is just for motivation. Like many people just feel like,
oh, I'm busy.
This I'm hearing some background noise.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, sir. So many people, as a result of motivation, like I just feel like I like maybe I need to proceed. I just want to further. I just want to have more knowledge about the field I am. And many people is because of their goals. Like for instance, I have the intention of taking up a lecturing job, and I know that I can only advance my study by going for further education, and I don't have the money. I can't deceive you. I don't have the money. So I have to look for scholarship that can help me to achieve my goals. And there are lots more like that. And different people have different type of goals. Many people is just to be international reputable, to be well known in the society, to be well known in the organization. Maybe some people just want to have international certificates. Like I have one of my friends used to tell us that I'm just studying just to have this certificate. So people can reckon with me like, oh, they study outside Nigeria, because most of us are basically from Nigeria. And can I start applying now? So many people used to ask us this question: when can I start applying for scholarship? When can I start applying for this? When can I start for applying for that? Like I can tell you gladly that there is one of my friend here too in West Virginia University, the guy didn't serve after completing his 400 level, like his fourth year, and he had to apply directly, skip the NYC. So I'm going to be mentioning some needs on how we can start applying. Like you can just start at any time, anytime. There's no maybe time limit that you have to be at this age. You have to be 20, you have to be 30, you have to be 40, you have to be no. Anytime you feel like, because I used to tell my friend now that scholarship is hustling, like it's work. You just have to put in your best, because it's not yet maybe you're coming here to start playing or start fooling around. You have to work for it, because those people that are paying you, you have to deliver for them. And out there are a lot of scholarships that we all know. There are a lot of scholarships. The first one is government-funded scholarship, in which we know about Commonwealth scholarship, the Chevening scholarship, and we have the organization-funded scholarship, the Erasmus, which is basically for the UK side, but I'm not that close to that because scholarship is wide, and I'm only limited myself to the US. And we have some schooling funded scholarship. These are the scholarships that your schools is going to give you, irrespective of maybe Stanford, University of California, Virginia University, Texas State University. And so those are the school funded scholarship. When you're talking about the school funded scholarship, these are the school that will be paying you, maybe per department. Department will be funding you, and you have to work for them in return. Maybe you have to be a GA, or the GA means graduate assistant, or you have to be an RA research assistant or a teaching assistant. Just one means or the other, you have to work for them back, because they are paying you they are paying your school fees and so on like that. Because the slide is long, I just have to rush so that I can meet up with time. And here now, you just have to ask yourself, like, what is the purpose, the theme and purpose for this scholarship? Like, are they fully funded scholarship for me? Because there are various type of scholarship, like some we call them fully funded and some we call them partial funded. The fully funded funding one is when the school is catering for your maybe health insurance, tuition waiver, and yes, tuition waiver and health insurance. So that is fully that you won't pay any dime, like no amount of small amount of money you are going to pay. Some are paying partial funding, like maybe 50%. You have to look for 50%. Some will give you 70%, like New University. New University gave me 50% scholarships, and even the remaining amount of money I can't afford it. So that I have to opt in for fully funded scholarship. So they're both fully funding and partial funding. No, I personally am going to talk about like I prefer fully funded scholarship. And there are a lot of levels of entry, like even levels of the scholarship. They're undergrad, they're scholarship for undergrad. Like a friend of mine in this apartment who is younger sister got admitted to Yale in one university for undergrad study. And you can get scholarship for masters, doctorate, even professional. We have some people here from Nigeria too that are doing their MBA, so which is professional scholarships. And there is no level, like you don't limit yourself to any level. Maybe it's compulsory for me to do this before I can do that. No, you can't just come here for your undergrad. You can come here to study on your undergrad courses, even for master's, doctorates. There are a lot. And you have to consider the eligibility, like when you want to apply, there are some schools that will base some criteria that they're going to tell you that, oh, before you can apply, you have to be first class. And technically, students, nobody needs to tell you that you shouldn't apply. Like you have to stop. Someone will just tell you that you guys for 2122. And I can also tell you that about this eligibility, don't limit yourself irrespective of your grade, because in also my stop. I'm very sorry because I'll be referring to my flat, because I'm living in a 4-bedroom flat and there are different people. And I can also tell you that in my flat, there's someone here that add 2-2. So don't just limit yourself with maybe until I make first class, maybe scholarship is only for first class students. No, it depends on how you package your application, depends on how you write well, and depends on how you put in your best. And you also look for the deadline. You have to look at it won't be polite, maybe an application will be ending by January 31st, and you're not submitting your application maybe January 30th. There are a lot of people that are way serious than you that have submitted earlier. So you have to put the deadline in consideration in anything you are doing. Just have to look at the deadline. That when is this application going to end? And I'm going to talk on how can I apply for this scholarship. How can I apply for this scholarship? And I repeat, I always tell people that don't limit yourself to maybe one group, or maybe this person is the person that has to give me information. I can only obtain information from this person. And there are a lot of means and medium that we can use to apply. And I'm going to talk on how can I apply. And the first one is to hunt for schools and scholarship. There are over 5,000 schools in the US. There are over 5,000. That is US alone, talk less of the world. So there are a lot of searching tools that you can use. You can use, I normally use it, Scholar Regions, Study Portal, yes, scholarship position. These are a lot of websites that we can use to look for schools and scholarship. There are a lot. And find as many schools as possible and make a broad list. Just find as many schools as possible that you don't limit yourself to maybe, I want to go to Harvard, I want to go to MIT, see that I go to Harvard, or I stay in Nigeria. So, okay, just write as many schools as possible and make a broad list. And visit the website of each schools and do some filtering, like, did they have funding, and is the funding available for the citizen of my country? Like, many people are restricting Nigeria, and just have to look at that. And do they have any faculty member that I love their work? Like, did I really like what they are doing? And does their work interest me? Did I even, like, if I get admitted to this person and I want to work with this, can I cope with what he or she is doing? And you have to look at the admission requirements. Some people might be asking you to submit an English proficiency test. Some might be waiving it for you. So you just have to look at everything and like, you have to narrow everything down to know the way that is going to be comfortable for you. Because during my own time, I'm going to talk based on my experience. I don't apply with any English proficiency test or any GRE exam grade score. I don't apply with anything. So I just make my requirements, and I observe everything, and I just have to look at it because I don't have money to do any English proficiency test. So I have to cut short any application that requires that. So I want us to look into that factors that, am I able to meet up with this? Am I able to meet up with that? And I'm still on this, how can we apply? The first thing that is very important for us, and that was the first thing doctor asked me then, Shalani asked me, do you have an international passport? And he was the first person to ask me to submit motivation letter. I had what was motivation letter from him for the first time. I don't know what motivation letter was then. So first time, we all know that I'm talking based on the country where I came from, which is Nigeria. We know how tough things is there. So international passports, you have to put in your best to get your international passport, which is very mandatory and compulsory for everybody. And you have to prepare an academic CV, because I'll be just bringing this today, and there are a lot of templates out there that I personally can share, and there are a lot of philanthropists there that are helping people out with templates. And you have to get your official and unofficial transcript. This is just a written book of a sheet of paper that tells everybody about what you have done during your undergrad and your grade, and what the course title are. So for better understanding of the courses you have taken during your undergrad. And there are some admission essays you need to write. We have to write the past. One is personal statement. There's quite different between personal statement and statement of purpose, but many people just put everything together. Irrespective of anything, just how you are still going to write an essay. So I want us to note that and have that at the back of our mind. And some schools require standardized exam, which is GRE, TOEFL, IELTS, DET, and SAT. This part is for undergrad. And I want us to have this at the back of mind that we are going to have a recommendation letter, like we're going to submit a recommendation letter, which must be very, 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 very well written letter for us, because it carry a lot of weight. And I was fortunate to have conversation with one of our postdoc, and they were just telling us some admission criteria in some of the schools, like because they don't know you and you have to give them assurance that you have good conduct. So your recommendation letter must speak a lot about you, which is very important. An application fee is, I won't lie to us, it's not easy. The least application fee is maybe $35, and converting $35 to Naira is huge. I will never lie to us. And in short, I used to recommend people to ask for waiver or coupon code. Just email the graduate coordinator like, hey, can I have a waiver code? I'm from maybe a country that's very poor, just now to write your English and just ask. And you can also look for other required material. When people can ask you to submit maybe any work experience like that, just have to look for the materials needed for you to submit. And one of the means for you, okay, I'm just trying to skip a lot of things. I'm sorry, because this slide is long. Okay. So another thing is maybe you want to secure a supervisor, and this, it varies, because I want to skip this. I personally, I didn't secure any supervisor before applying, and not all schools accept that. And the important thing is you have to submit your application before deadline, and you have to submit your application before deadline. And I won't be able to talk more about this admission interview because I didn't do any admission interview. So and you just have to sit down. Once you are putting your best, you'll be waiting for admission and offer. Thank you very much. I have to stop here because I don't want to move this slide. Just have to stop here. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much. As you were presenting, I just begin to flashback the day you came to my office and requesting that I give you a recommendation to go for your master's in UI. Yes, can you recall what happened that day, how I insulted you and provoked you to where you are now? I'm glad I'm glad we are meeting. I'm glad we met, and I always value and appreciate you. Yeah. Ridwan, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Blessing. Hello, everyone.
Okay. Can you unmute yourself, and do you have just a few minutes before we go into questions?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Ridwan Agenla. I'm a first year student in Department of Microbiology, Louisiana State University. So, I think Blessing has already said most of the things I think I would say. But what I would just like to pitch in is that, first of all, I would like everyone to ask, everyone should ask themselves this kind of question: what do I want? What kind of scholarship program do I want? Like Blessing I've explained earlier. So I think we should all, because for each program has requirements. Some programs won't require GRE, some require GRE. Some programs will waive TOEFL, some won't waive TOEFL. So what I just want everyone to do now is that we should try and do our own personal research on the program we'll be applying to, and make sure that we have everything ready before we apply, or if not everything, at least 80% of our application materials ready before applying. So I think that's all. And I'll be here. I'll be available to attend to any questions during the question and answer segment.
Yeah, thank you so much, Redwan. Thank you for that brief one. Yeah, we have another student, another PhD student who is also on a 100% scholarship. If they can do it, you too can also do it. I have Kehinde Joshua from University of Maryland. Kehinde Joshua. Kehinde Joshua, where are you?
Hi, everyone.
Can
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Hi. I'm Joshua Kende, a PhD student of University of Maryland College Park, and a PhD chemistry student. So I studied chemistry here in Maryland. So for me, in terms of scholarships and getting funding for your PhD or your master's degree, you need to get your CV and all other documents available for you to be able to get the funding, because most of the universities, they like to first of all evaluate your CV, and from your CV they will know what you have done in the past, they will know the kind of research you have done. So the one secret I would like to share with you is that if you are kind of designing your CV, or you are kind of compiling your CV, make it in such a way that you list out your research experience, you list out your awards, you list out if you have your publication, though publication is not needed, but if you have your publication, you can put it there, because these are the main thing they look at when they want to evaluate your admission, whether to accept you or not. So your CV and your transcript, if you have 4 points, if you have 4 points, you are good to go. If you don't have 4 points, you are good to go. Because I say that because I am a second class upper student. I graduated with second class upper student at the State University, and I was able to get a full funding. So if I can do it that way, and you also can do it, you just have to kind of repackage yourself, repackage what you have. That is what you can use to get the fundings. Also, when writing your statement of purpose and all other things like that, you make sure you tell your story. Don't go and copy a kind of statement of purpose for someone else and just paste it and thinking that they will approve your admission like that. No, you just have to tell your own story. I during my own time, I make sure that I check my statement of purpose day to day, rewrite some, cancel some, like kind of like going through the process by yourself. Don't kind of shortcut don't kind of do a kind of shortcut for you to get the admission. Make sure you write the statement of purpose, tell your unique story, and I know everyone here have a unique story to write. So what else do I want to talk about? So so when you put in your CV, you put in your statement of purpose, and you put in your all other materials which are needed for the admission. So all you need to do is to apply and look out for application fee waivers. So for the application fee waivers, most of the way you have to get it is to attend virtual meetings, like maybe the chemistry department is doing some virtual meetings, or any other department is doing some virtual meetings online. Go to Google, make use of your Google very well. Go to each school, they have a particular time that they can do their graduate fair per year. Every year they used to do the graduate fair, and everyone that attend the graduate fair, they will give an application fee waiver. So you must make sure you attend that graduate fair so that you can get your free waiver and apply to that school, or you pay the application fee. So when you pay the application fee, you have put your application in several hundred people that are competing to get admitted into that school. And what will stand you out is your uniqueness. Your uniqueness about your CV, your uniqueness about your statement of purpose, your uniqueness about what you have in your undergraduate. So to crown it all, because I don't have much time, so to crown it all, just make sure you put in all your effort into the application process and make sure you do all you need to do before you submit that application. Because, and also last thing that we like to talk about, if you are looking for scholarship to enter the US, like in the fall, you need to start applying like the fall of the previous year. Like if you are looking into getting into fall 2023, you need to start applying in the fall of 2022. So that is how it works. So you don't just wake up one day that you want to start applying. So look at the time. It starts from August. August is fall. Start looking out for people, for schools to apply to, and start looking out for how to get the free waivers and be getting ready to apply to schools at that time. So that would be all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Kainde. It's wonderful to see these wonderful young scholars. If they can do it, you can also do it. If they can make it, you can also make it. So you can have that 100% scholarship. So I would like us to go now into interaction questions. I know you have questions. Questions. I have some hands. Chioma, can you unmute and ask your question? Please, if you are not called, please don't unmute so that we'll make it orderly. Chioma, can you please unmute and ask your question? Then that will be followed by Collins. Okay, if Chioma is not ready, Lillian Chiwe, the question?
Okay, greetings everyone. My question is, what about undergraduates? Because it seems what I can hear is about postgraduates. So what about any way to enlighten us about undergraduates?
Yeah, I will ask that. I will attend to that. We have done several webinars in the past on undergraduate scholarship. So I will share the YouTube link with you, which you can access. So Collins, so all questions today should be geared towards postgraduate scholarship. Collins, your question?
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Greetings to everyone. Yeah, my name is Collins. Sorry, I want to know about the professional postgraduate you mentioned. Somebody that has an MBA from University of Ibadan, can that person get a scholarship to study another MBA in a US university?
Okay, Blessing, are you there, or who wants to attend? Okay, let Blessing attend to this question.
Okay. Oh.
Can Ridwan answer that?
Yeah,
okay,
I can
yeah,
try.
Ridwan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can try. I look like it depends, but why is the person not interested in a PhD program? Because first of all, because there are some things that one need to consider before applying, like before taking that kind of decision, like applying for under MBA. Because during visa interview, if the person cannot convince, it will be kind of difficult, or a problem might occur for the person to convince the visa officer that he already had a MBA in Nigeria and is going for another MBA. It's like at times some VO might not be convinced with that kind of excuse, or so because I would advise if the person can go for a master's in another program, that would be fine. But having an MBA in Nigeria and going for another MBA, I think the person might have problem doing visa interview.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the first
like
problem.
duplication.
The person
Yeah,
need to
duplicate
like you have
either
to
masters or MBA or anything in another field totally, or a PhD program. I think that would be the best bet for the person.
Okay. Yeah, we have so many questions. Let's go to Island. Chioma is ready. Are you ready? Okay,
Yes, I
if
am.
she's not ready. Okay, yeah.
That's Ijoma. Are you talking of
Okay.
Ijoma or Chioma?
Yeah, there is one Chioma. Okay, Chioma, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks so much. I want to start on a note of appreciation. This is a wonderful package for those of us who are here and who have interest in coming over. Now, number one question goes to Mr. Blessing. You said there's a difference between personal statement and statement of purpose. Specifically, can you highlight what the components of statement of purpose should be like, and that of personal statement? I know that Mr. Kayinda said it has to be real. It has to come from us. So at least somebody should be able to know what the ingredients are and then own it. Then number two question I have goes to Mr. Kayinde. Mr. Kayinde talked about research experience. Now, for somebody who is a fresh graduate, I am wondering, somebody who just finished from school and maybe is about to go to youth service or has not even gone, what kind of research experience would be adequate to gain a scholarship? Number three, I have my daughter who finished from nursing, and I know that somebody who wants to do a master's in nursing, they would require a number of work hours. So I don't know whether the panelists, being that, you know, most of them are in the field of chemistry, I don't know whether you have any information as per those who want to come over there to read nursing. So for such a person who is just doing her internship, how would somebody get that kind of number of hours to suffice for that person to come and do a master's degree program in nursing? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, let's go. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, there is similarity between personal statement and statement of purpose. And maybe after this group, I'm going to share a link to Professor Layinde on how to construct your statement of purpose. But if you are talking about personal statement, when I was applying for Chevney scholarship, then that's when I have to differentiate between personal statement and statement of purpose sometimes. Because this personal statement is basically you are telling them more about yourself to me. And like, that's why I can answer you. Because you have to talk about yourself. Sorry, someone's calling me. You have to yourself and why do you want to study this? Because I don't a lot of things is flowing in my head. I'm just trying to put it with I'm going to convince anybody. And yeah, you're going to talk about your achievements. That's just I'm still talking about the personal statement. But if you are talking about statement of purpose, to me, statement of purpose, you have to give a whole overview or background of that stuff. For instance, you still have to talk about yourself, fine. You just have to talk about your research experience. You have to talk about maybe you see a professor you like and you have a research interest in that person. You have to talk about that person and what you have accomplished. Like, why do you think you fit for that department? Because then they are going to look at you like your statement of purpose is how you want to have impact in this department. Like, what do you want to? I'm just trying to. I don't want to confuse anybody, but a lot of things.
Okay.
Right.
Well, let me just provide a brief. Statement of purpose has to do with your general your goal as it relates to what you want to study.
Yes.
Personal statement is your drive. So that's where you go into your background, what motivated you to where you are. So in your personal statement, it will reflect that. It's like a brief, you have to coin it. And that was why Kende was saying you have to tell your story. For instance, that's where you can come, how you motivated yourself to pass JAM. When you fail JAM, you have to write it, to study this, to study that. So, but this time around, when you are now stating the statement of purpose, now you have to now look at the field you have chosen. Maybe you want, for instance, you want to specialize on pharmacology now. How does your current drive now, how does it relate to pharmacology? So in pharmacology, what motivates you? What are you looking at in that direction? So in that, you provide a clear view about your personal statement and statement of purpose. So again, I know that we have so many questions. We have so many people raising. For somebody in nursing, the person has to who wants to move for nursing. He needs to apply for ATT and NCLEX. She needs to get authority to pass. That's the ATT, and that varies from state to state. I learned now that there is one authority, there is one organization, there's one body that covers about 35 states in the US, and NCLEX. So you can tell her to do that. So let's go to another question. Babalola.
I think she has one more question for me. So, okay, can I quickly answer that?
Yeah, you can quickly answer that.
For the research experience, I'm not talking about like maybe you are employed in a lab. I know that most of us, we have only what we did during our undergraduate, like what we do with our professor, maybe our final year projects, or maybe our internship that we did for 1 year, or CWES or something like that. So that's what I'm talking about the research experience. Like, you don't need a big research experience like that. Maybe you are employed in a lab, you are doing this or you are doing that, but you need all those internship, all those CWES, all those HND, we call it teaching. What do they call it? The HND, we call it. Yeah. IT. So all those things. Yes. So all those things is what you need for the research experience part. So thank you.
Okay.
Right. Can I also chip in something?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Really one. Yeah.
Okay. Like, for example, now the person can also volunteer as a graduate intern in any place in his field of study. For example, now, I remember when I was applying, I intentionally volunteered as a graduate intern in a virology lab, and it really helped my application. So the person can also volunteer in a maybe research lab so as to boost his profile.
Please let us all, if you are not being called, kindly still remain, kindly mute yourself so that we can enjoy this of Babalola Olagoke, you have the floor.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Olagoke by name. My question is, for HND graduates who want to have their masters, is there any direct links, or what I mean is there any direct scholarship scheme that they can access to apply for their masters, instead of maybe first being undergoing the
PDG,
the postgraduate?
PDG,
yes.
Yeah, PDG.
So is there a way to boycott the postgraduate? And if there is, please, I would need a link for that, because I'm an HND graduate of microbiology. So,
all right,
and I want to.
All right, your question is clear. Our panelists, let's start this time around from Kehinde. Do you have anything?
Yeah, can I answer that question?
Okay.
Yeah, when I left Nigeria, I'm an HND graduate. And when I came to this country, my result was evaluated to equal to a degree in the United States. So that if you can send your HND result, your transcript to the evaluation body, they are going to do it. Oh, you don't need to go through PGD and all those stuff.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's where I'm going. But I will recommend that when you are sending your HND transcript, send this along with your OND so that it will be evaluated together, and it will be the evaluation body will place it side by side. You should know that the system we run is the British system in Nigeria. The American system is different. Like, so for instance, South Africa runs use the American model. So you can have your master straight in US, even with your HND. Even the same thing in South Africa, you can have your master straight with your HND. So thank you for that. Okay, Dr. Sam. Dr. Sam, you have the floor. Dr. Sam, Emenike JP. Oh, full name. Dr. Sam, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate this. I appreciate this seminar. I wanted just to ask a brief question, though one has been answered. That is the issue of statement of purpose and personal statement that has been taken care of. Then secondly, I wanted to ask, all that has been said here has been sciences. Is there no information or good rooted information about finance and accounting or management sciences?
All right, thank you. Well, let me provide guide. It's the same thing that applies across board. So what we are just presenting to you is that it can happen. If it can happen to these folks, it can also happen to you. So if you can apply the same resilience, diligence, and putting all this effort together, it can also happen to you. So the same thing applies to management, humanities, social science. As a matter of fact, in the US, everybody has to pass through STEM. So, but it can happen. Just know that it can happen. The next question is Julius Tumiche. You have the floor. Okay, if Julius is not ready, okay, I think he's ready.
Oh. Yeah.
Julius Tumiche.
Good evening. Yes, I appreciate you the opportunity granted to be a part of this program. I just want to find out from you, is there a way you can assist in the application for this scholarship issue? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Fortunately, yes. Can you hear? Fortunately,
yeah, I'm hearing you.
Fortunately, the postgraduate scholarship, it's more of department based.
Okay.
It's not like the undergraduate that is centralized. Because what they do for the undergraduate scholarship in all the schools is centralized. So, but for postgraduate, it's more of departmental based. But the truth there is that if you want to pay out of pocket, you don't need a scholarship. If you are paying out of pocket, you don't need a scholarship. But you have to, such a person has to pay through out of pocket. But if you are willing to do that, of course, we can definitely facilitate admission for you. But this is just to ensure that you have the right knowledge, and if you apply the right knowledge, you get the right input. But if you would like to choose the other way around, it's then we are too good to go in business. James O.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. The organizer of this webinar for a wonderful job, and also to appreciate our facilitators. My question, I have just two questions. I think one was asked by Dr. Sam, which is that I'm not hoping the response, because I've gone through some schools in the US, in Canada, and Europe to see availability of scholarship for social sciences and management courses. It's rare. It's not like sciences, whereby we do have numerous scholarship program for sciences. So it's rare. So I would appreciate if you can give us few skills that covers social sciences and management sciences, management courses and social sciences courses. That is one. Then two, in the course of this segment, I think one of our facilitator mentioned about August. I want a clarity. Does it really mean that if someone wants to apply for this scholarship this year, if you are applying for this scholarship this year, someone should have it in mind that scholarship for this year has been closed since last year. So any scholarship somebody is applying this year, it will be for 2024. Please, I need a clarity on this.
Yeah, okay. Let me call Kehinde Joshua. Kehinde,
Okay.
can you please attend to this question?
Yeah. Okay. For the first question, I think there are a lot of opportunities for management science, social science, and political science, all these courses that are non-STEM. And there are a lot of opportunity. I will tell you that there is a lot of opportunity at different schools. If you use your Google and you search for different schools now, you have to tally your searching to the department you want to apply to. And most of these departments, most of what they have that I will be honest about is that they have a master's program. They have a master's program. You can easily get into their master's program, preferably to their PhD program. They have a master's program that you can they will fund your tuition fee, and they might not even give you full, but they might give you half. Then if you have half of that of your maybe your tuition of your stuff, then you can easily process the admission. So all you have to do is to keep searching and search for schools that are in the US, and the kind of schools that you want to go, because there are a lot of schools. There are about 2,000 schools in the US. All of them have all of them have political science department, and all of them have a accounting department, and they are admitting every year. They are admitting every year. So for that, I think the best answer we give for that is that you have to tally your searching to the school you want to apply to, and look out for their requirements. Most of them will require you to write GMAT. They will require you to write GRE. Some of them require you to write all those big exams before you can get in, because I would not lie to you, they are highly competitive, more than the STEM courses. So for the second question, I said August for fall admission. So for spring admission, you are looking to apply for spring admission maybe in December or of the same year. That means if you want to apply for 2023 now, for 2023, you will have started your application August of fall 2022. If you want to come to the US, that is US alone. But for other schools, they have China. You can start China from December. You can do all that. So, but for US, if you want a funding for science courses, because most of them are admit during the fall. They admit during the fall. So the fall semester is the best for you to apply, because you have enough time for you to do your visa processing and all that. But some of them really on rare cases, they can admit you in the spring if they need more people to join their class, if they have admitted in the fall. So they can admit you in the spring. So if you want to start the fall admission, you start in August of the next year. Like if you are looking into 2023, you start for 2022. If you are looking in 2024, you start for 2023. So that is how it is. And for the spring semester, you can apply up to January and up to February. The application, you will see it at the deadline. And so you should make sure you are applying before the deadline. That is what I'm trying to say. Make sure you apply before the deadline, because that timeline is very important. If you don't apply early, your chance might be limited, because like someone who wants to evaluate over 2,000 or 3,000 applications, and seeing your own application as number one, that person will know that you are serious and you want to come to that school. So, and so you need to apply early, and you need to gather all the sufficient documents for you to kind of apply. I think I answered the question.
Yeah, because of time. Okay, let's quickly go to Victory Mokolu.
Yeah,
Victory Mokolu, just 1 minute, 1 minute. We have less than 5 minutes.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. One of my questions has been answered, and that question is based on the assumption that people that are eligible for these scholarships are individuals that are STEM related, or people that engage community service and all those things. So, my question is for people that are not looking to, do a master's program in STEM related courses or have no track record of community services, what kind of scholarships are open to individuals like this? So myself, for example, I currently work as a product designer, and I'm looking to, further my studies, just improve myself. So by studying, I want to take a course in human computer interaction. But unfortunately, most of the scholarships I've been seeing that are available are mostly available to people that have science related courses. So I want to ask, are there chances for someone like me to get this kind of scholarships? Thank you.
Yeah, Blessing, just 1 minute response. 1 minute response.
Yes,
Blessing,
yes.
can you quickly respond in 1 minute?
Yes, there are chances for you to get admission, but to me, I don't know everything, but there are some people that focus on this non-STEM. Like I just shared to the group, there's this guy that everything he posts about is about non-STEM. So maybe you can follow him on Twitter and just try to see his retweet on everything he's doing, so you can just apply to it. But what I want to tell you that scholarship is open to everybody, even to courses that you don't even expect. So don't just limit yourself to anything. That's all.
Yeah, okay. The last one, Osati Milenyi A22. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. We have just 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah, I've been following the discourse, and I so much appreciate it. My own concern is my own area of specialization. I have a degree in law, but I just the BLL. I've not done the BL. And I want to know if there's any opportunity that is open to such person for a postgraduate degree up there.
Okay. Real one, can you quickly respond in 1 minute? Read one, can you respond in 1 minute?
Okay. So just like what Blessing and Kendi have been saying since morning, scholarship is open to any course, like to every course, even though to courses that we don't even think of. Like each country has their own scholarship scheme, but for US, like what Blessing have already explained, for law, but I think law has its own requirements. So what I would just advise is that you should check schools in the United States, different schools, and check up the requirements, the admission requirements, and the funding requirements of the law program in schools you search for. So my advice is just search for schools in US and check for their law program. So to end, once again to everyone, scholarship is available to every courses as far as one is ready to work and make effort towards it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. As far as one is ready to work and make effort. The truth there is that if you do not do your due diligence, there are over 3,000 institutions here in the United States that has funding and opportunity for international students. It will surprise you that some schools deliberately are giving scholarship to Black community because they want to have a global institution. Well, in the chat box, you have a lot of links that have been posted by our facilitators, people who bring information on scholarship. You can copy it and follow them on Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube. And this webinar will also be available on YouTube. You can go over it again. I've also sent our email to you as Transnational Career Consultant. You can send email, someone will be there to attend to you. It is one of our social responsibility to empower you. And one of the basic way to empower is knowledge. And if they can do it, you can also do it. If they can make it, you can also make it. They came here without any funding, or all funding was given to them by their institution or by several funding. It's wonderful to have every one of us on this platform in the last 60 minutes. On behalf of my friends from Transnational, I want to thank our facilitator, starting from my wonderful mentee, Blessing Bamishayi, Joshua Kende, Rilwan. You guys are wonderful. We all give you high five to you guys. The next webinar, which we'll communicate later, will be for people who have master's, PhD, who are professionals. What opportunity do they have? There is opportunity again for everyone that has higher degree. It is an opportunity for people with advanced degree. So once you have the advanced degree, then you have the opportunity. Yours is not a lottery. Yours is the privilege of the certification you have, and that will communicate to you. Please watch out if you can send email to us so that you can get adverts for this webinar. Come up in the next later in the month of January. Thank you once again. On behalf of my friends from Transnational, I'd like to say thank you for joining, and we wish you the very best in the year 2021, 2023. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you immensely.
Thank you.
Please, the YouTube link for the undergraduate.
Yeah, just send your email. We'll send just send the email to that email that is shared in the chat and request for it.